created for you a discussion board here on BBLearn. So you click here on discussion, and then you will find, maybe I need to make it a little bit bigger. So this is the discussion, and here there is an area that you can use to share code or discuss issues with some codes that you have. You have an error there and you want help from someone looking at your code and say this is the solution. You can go there and post your questions, and that's the way how the industry usually use that. People in the industry, they go and ask for help and they work together. For sure you should not ask for help to do the assignment. That will be a big issue for you, but you can say, I have this code, there is an error coming here, how I can fix that error. And people can look at it and give you feedback saying, oh, you can do this, you can do that, without giving you the answers, but guiding you through the process of coming with an answers. So please use that to your advantage, so you can post questions. So you can create a new thread here and you go and add your questions that you have. Now I also sent you a link to you can ask questions. You can ask on YouTube as well if you have any questions. The challenge with some of the students, those students who really need the help, usually do not attend, do not listen to the videos. Yes, that's a good question. I can see someone asking question about the final quiz, and this is a good question. Now you have 2 exams, and project. You have a project, and the project will be given to you after the break, and you will have a test on week 12. In week 12, you will have questions asking you to enter code for different things from unit 1. Functions, if statements will be covered, and from unit 2 will be about reading from Excel file and reading, displaying one column data or group of column data and things you have on the notes. So you will be asked questions to write code. Now we're not looking at if you write the full code and everything is right, it's the best, you will get the full mark. But if you make a small mistakes, you will lose based on what that mistake and how serious that mistake is. So the answer, yes, there will be writing some codes in the exam on week 12. Now the final exams, which will be the 4 exam, you will have multiple choice, your choice questions, and you will have short answers where you write a few 1 line or 2 lines, and you will have also where you can enter a paragraph or code. My experience tells me students get more marks when there is writing a code or a paragraph than multiple choice. The challenge with the multiple choice, and many of our students, they just go and answer quickly without reading it carefully, and sometimes it's a tricky questions. And if you notice in all other courses, multiple choice, most of the students do not score well in it. So if there is a need for answering a code, that will give you some marks, because it will focus on the logic you have, on the components of your code, and for all these things you will get marks. It's not 0 or 1, either full mark or nothing. A multiple choice is 0 or 1. So always good if there is a code. And with this practice we will be doing, I know it's a holiday for me as well, but I think if we can use just some of our time and go through these things, you will practice. The code we're teaching is not really that complicated to do. So I gave you a number of things that you can ask questions. Please ask questions. I'll go to the Jupyter. I know some of you having small mistakes, and that's the challenge with programming. Sometimes small mistakes can cause you waste of time, and then frustrations, and you feel that, oh, it's very complicated. It's not very complicated, but you're missing only small thing that need to be done. And here I will show you those mistakes. I'll do the mistakes myself. You see where are the mistakes. I'll show you how to fix it, and this way you will better understand how it works. Let's go back and do a revision on the if statement, because the if statement will be part of your quiz, which will be in week 12. Yeah. So let's do revision on if statement and try to do revision on functions. And use the time. If you have questions, just put it on either YouTube or put it on the discussion board, which we have on our BPLN. Hopefully this discussion board will be working for us, but we'll see how it will go. Now I'll go back to Jupyter. Here is Jupyter, and I created one here today called session 3. Yeah, and I will show you some of those mistakes that maybe you'll do. Let's start by the if statement. Okay, let's assume we have a number called x, and we need to ask the user to input value for that x, and based on x we can put some condition. So we can say x equal input, and here we can say quotation, enter value for x. Okay, now if I want to print x, just print, I do that, print x. Now if I run this code, I will get this one, and enter x, say 20, and then hit enter. It prints value of x. Now what are some of the mistakes we will do? Assume I want now to check if x is more than certain number. So if x is more than 70, okay, then see this colon, one of the mistakes that people could make. And the other thing are those brackets, yeah, which we'll have. So if x is more than 70, so we can say print x is more than 70. That's basically okay. Now if I run this one, it will not work, and I will spend time trying to debug it. Let's see how it works. Now I'll enter 60. Okay, I get this error. This error saying, oh, there's something wrong, and if you go through it, it's the important one is the last one. He's saying more than not supported between instances of str. Str means string. Okay, and
web search turned something up for more than did between arrow is the app as the dog means.
Oh, thank
Have a
you.
look.
Oh, thank you very much. This is my my series is just causing me some. I don't know why she wanted to say something. Okay, please. I did shut it down. Now, what it's saying here is saying to me, you are dealing with a string, and you trying to use greater than for a string. Yeah, because basically I did not convert x to a number. X comes as text. When you use input produce for you a text. So what I need here, if I say x equal int of x, now it's converted to a number. Now if I run this code, I'll put 70 for example, I get nothing. Why? Because I said if it is more than 70, do something. Let me run it now again and say 80. If I say 80, I'll get the message. Yeah, x is more than 70 because I entered 80, so I got this message. But if I enter something different, less than 80, say I enter 70, I will not get anything because I have nothing for in case x is not more than 70. So what I can add here, I can add else. Okay, so we'll say else has to be at the same level as f. See, this is why I pushed it that way. And I can say here print, I'll say here x is less than or equal 70. Let's look at this. Is a very simple example. Now we run it. Now if I put 70, it will display this message, yeah? See it? Which x is less than or equal 70. But if I really give a value that more than 70, say 71, 71 will produce for me this message. Okay, so the way if statement works, you have a condition here, and then if the condition is true, the answer is yes for that condition, you get whatever you add here. Yeah, I said print x. I can say also print something else, yeah, related. But these two lines are the same. So let me put here a line like this, yeah, and put a line top here, print, and put another line here. So the three lines, basically why I'm doing this, because I want to tell you these three lines we have here are all at the same level. They are all part of the situation when x is more than 70. And else you can have as much as you want if you keep them in the same level. So you can have again here print, and I can put a line like this, and I can repeat the same thing here. But if I do just one mistake here, okay, and assume I come and push this one this way, so the whole thing will not work, because I need to have these are at the same level, the three of them at the same level. So let's run the code again, and we say 70. See, I get the three lines saying these three lines here, because basically it's not more than 70. 70 is not more than 70. 70 is not more than 70, yeah? 71 is more than 70. So because it's not more than, it went to else and displayed the three lines which I have here. Okay? Okay, good. Now, if I want to include 70, I say 70 x is more than or equal 70. This is the way to do it. And one of the mistakes you could have done, you put the equal here. If you put the equal before, you get an error. See, comes to you like that. Equal should be after the greater than or less than. Should be after, not before. And that's small mistakes that it can cause you some time. Now if I include 70, I put 70, what will be the answer? Will be the answer x is more than 70. Here we'll say or equal, yeah, because we're including equal there, yeah. So let's rerun it again, run again, go there and run. Okay, it's still running, so I think I have so you see this one, it's still running because I did not interrupt it properly. So when you see the star here, means the server is still running your code. One way to do it, you kill it like this. Now it's stopped, and you run it again. Now it's working. So if I put 70 now, I get, as we said, these three lines. So we'll get x is more than or equal 70, because now 70 is included in that code. Again, when you run a cell, you go to the cell and hit run, okay, or control enter, as you know. So 71 again will give me the same value. Now, any questions on the if statement? Good, I can see another question. If we put 2 equal in the condition is still running or not? Okay, that's good question. Now, for the equal, I'll add that one. I'll show you how it works when I get to that one. But if you want to check if something equals something else, you need equal. Yeah? If you want more than or equal, just one equal. Or less than or equal is one equal. But if you want to check if it's equal, just use equal, double equal. Double equal for the condition. Inside the if statement, use double equal. In assigning a value, like here we said x equal, it's only one equal. Here we're assigning a value, we're giving a value to x, which different from checking if x is equal. If you want to check if x is equal, use 2 equals. But if you want to assign a value or give a value to x, use only one equal. Yeah? With greater than and equal or more than or equal, this is the way you do it. Now, if we have 2 conditions, assume now, and I'm not sure if any question came through that page, which here discussion, maybe there are some questions. No questions. What is it? Okay, and there are here no questions. I see no post from anyone. That's fine, no worries. Maybe we don't know how to do that. Now, if we have 2 conditions now, we saw one condition. So the condition, one condition has 2 parts. One is for the answer is yes or true, and one for the answer is false. Okay. Now, if I have 2 conditions, I want to check if x is more than or equal 70 and x is less than or equal 80. So if the value between 70 and 80, 70, 71, 72, including 70 and including 80. Once you have this equal, means including. So if the value is including, this is the way to do it. You put this and. Now, I know in the other one, Rebel, you use and like this. Why? Because Rebel with Turtle using old version of Python. The new version of Python 3.6, you need this and. Yeah? One and. Now, those coming from Java programming or C# or others, usually they have 2 ands. But here only one and. Yeah? So now, if the value is more than 70, the x is more than or equal 70, and x is less than or equal 80. Yeah? So that's the answers it will do. Now, if x is not more than or equal 70, and x is not less than or equal 70, I'm talking about this part. So what x will be? X will be less than 70 or more than 80. So here I will say x is either less than 70 or more than 80. Let me fix my either. Okay? I'll say is or yeah, that's it. So that's now I have one and here because I have 2 conditions. I have 2 conditions, I use and in between. And this is now, if I make a mistake, let me run this one first, and then we will make some mistakes. Now if we put 75, what do you think the answer? 75 is between the two. I should get this long line. Yeah? Yes, I'm getting that line saying x is more than or equal 70 and x is less than, or yeah, this is exactly the line with these two lines on top. So that is working fine. Now if I get x 55, okay, now I'm getting this message, yeah, 55 is not really the right answer. The answer should come this one, yeah, because 55 is less than 80, yeah, less than 70, okay. But if I run again, let's try now, run 90, what I'm getting? Still I'm getting the same thing. There is a logical error in my code. What do you think that logical error in my code? Oh, thank you for your help. I'm looking at the, I hope it was clear, yeah? Okay, so what's wrong with my code here? So it's keep doing the same thing. I'm putting 90, which 90 is not really in the range. The range, the half is more than equal 70 and less than and equal 80. But I'm getting the answers as this one. I see some questions here. Yeah. So what could be some of the mistakes we made here? Any answers from you, team? Are you following me with your code, or you just doing things by watching me? You can follow me, and you can also send me your code by just going to here and posting it. Are you having challenge with posting anything here? I'm not getting any response, but maybe you can write on the YouTube chat if you would like to do that. Okay, let's go back here. Now with AND, we have two conditions here, yeah? We have one condition here, and we have one condition here. Put these two conditions between bracket, so that means these two conditions treated as two conditions, not each one on its own. And go with 90, you see the answer came right. Now missing those two brackets, putting each condition in its own brackets, you will get your code not working. You'll get your code ignoring the second condition. Now before we had it like this, remember? And this is important because you will spend hours looking at why the code is not working. It's not working this way. Why? Because it's looking at only the first condition and ignoring the second. If you wanted to look at both conditions, you need to put each one between its own two brackets. And that's basically will get it working for you. Yeah? So this is one condition here between its own bracket, and this is another condition between its own bracket. This is the same thing later in pandas. When we do pandas, you will notice we need those two brackets when you have two conditions, not only one condition. So if you put 55, now you get the right answer. 55 is less than 70, and yeah. So this is AND. Basically AND require both conditions to be true. It's AND. The first condition and the second condition has to be true, so you can process the next step, which is this one. Otherwise, it will jump to else and do this. Now, another mistake you could have done, this colon. You forget that colon. You say just else and that's it. This will cause you an error, which like this. Invalid syntax. It's not saying you there is a colon missing. It's saying invalid syntax. Means you're not following the grammar of this language or the syntax of this language. The grammar of this language or syntax, you need a colon here. And the same colon here, if you forget, you will get same thing, invalid syntax. Anytime you see this word invalid syntax, think of the colon first thing. First thing, think of it is the colon. Syntax means the colon is not there. 99% is the colon. There are few more other things than the colon. So the colon produce the word invalid syntax. And you need to remember that, yeah? Invalid syntax is because of the colon, yeah? You run the code now, it's working fine, everything is going okay. The other thing, if you miss a bracket here, see, Jupyter is very clever, more than our friend Ripple. I like both of them. But you see here, when you miss a bracket, you will find it's highlighting only these two brackets, yeah? But if you add a bracket, it will highlight the open bracket here. Maybe I need to increase this, sorry for that. See, as soon as you add a bracket, it will highlight for you. This is one and this is one. If you do like that, you're missing one bracket, yeah? And you run your code, you get this error saying invalid syntax. So the other one is the bracket. This invalid syntax, either bracket or not having colon there, yeah? So that's the second one that will produce also invalid syntax. Okay, so let's put this one back. Now you can see this one highlighted green, this one highlighted green, things are all okay. If I come here, these two are green, these two are green, all the brackets are equal. You have open, close bracket, and everything is working fine. Now assume I do, I make a mistake and put this one like this. What do you think will happen now? See, this line should be here, as we know, yeah? Because the three of them are the same level. If I do this mistake and run, okay? Stop it, run it, okay? This is what I'm getting. I'm getting something called unexpected indent. Unexpected indent means the indentation of your code is not right. Means they are not coming all on the same correct line. And this is very easy one, yeah? Unexpected indent means this line should not be here. It should go here, yeah? Now, if I want to add a line at the end and saying thank you, yeah, this is the end of your code, and I want that line to appear in both cases, when the value is correct, more than or equal 70 and less than 80, and also the same line thank you will come also if the value is not correct. So where I add it at the end, and I should have it at the same level as the F. So I say print here and say thank you, yeah, this is the end, okay? Now because I put this one in the same line of F and else, it will appear on both cases, yeah? So if I run this code and put 70, it comes, and also I get this line coming. And if I run the code again and put 55, it will also come, yeah? Because why? Because it's equal to the if statement. It is at the same level. And this is why it's coming properly at that place. Any other questions? So the if statement, we looked at one of the if statement, yeah, which is else, if, and else. Okay. Now, what if we have a complication more than just if and else? Which the example of the grades. You have done that example before, and you know how to work with it. But let's do just a revision. Enter value for mark, we'll call it marks now here, for your course mark. Okay, and let's I think one good thing with this Jupyter, let's leave everything as it is, and let's create a new cell. Yeah, now later you can, if you want to get this code, you can just take this URL, or I will post it down. So let's add another one here, go down, and another one, and leave this X and say mark. Okay, mark, and convert this one as a mark, and say mark equal and mark. You notice when we didn't do end, we got an error saying you cannot apply greater than on a string. Yeah, now all this need to be changed. This is X, okay, will be mark. Now let's look at the marks. Yeah, I will delete all this here, sorry for that. Okay, let's check now. If someone, we know in grades, if someone scored more than or equal 60, that's a passing grade. Yeah, okay, so you can say print you have passed the course with D grade. Okay, D is not good grade. Yeah, you should not aim for a D. Okay, no, but it's not D really, because maybe you scored more than, you have passed the course. Yeah, maybe you scored more than 60, maybe 90. So else print, sorry, you have to repeat this course. It's another way of saying, so you failed the course. Yeah, but you have to repeat the course. You need to do that. Yeah, I hope you will not get in this situation in any course. But that's what it is. This is still the same examples as the above one. Yeah, there's nothing changed, only we just saying you passed, you failed. Let's run it again and see what we say. Someone scores 60, getting you have passed the course. Yeah, and if someone scored less than 60, 58, and then get, sorry, you have to repeat this course. Yeah, now in the grading system, I have to look there if there is a question. Come here, I see no questions. Okay, that's good. Let's now say it's more than that. It's 60, you pass the course. Yeah, but now if we say we want to look at the grading system, which grading system in HCT, if you scored, let's take a general one, not the HCT one. Yeah, say if you scored more than or equal 90, this is A. Okay, so anyone scored 90 equal, this is A. So we can say A here. Yeah, print A, just print A. Okay, now if it is not more than or equal 90, what other options? It may be say 80, if 80 is B. Yeah, so 80 is B. Here we introduce something new, we call else F. Yeah, else F means there is another condition that you need to apply. So if the mark is not more than 80, more than 90, you check this condition. If mark is more than or equal 80 and mark is less than 90. Now, I know you watching me, you will say to me, Hamad, you made a mistake. There's something wrong in your code. You are right, there's something wrong in my code. Is I have to put this in between brackets. Remember that mistake we had before? So we put this one in between brackets. Now, in this case, what should be the mark? Will be print. We'll say B, yeah? This, by the way, this grading system is common, that you have discrete in between every 10 points you get a new grade, yeah? So let's just follow that one. Now, if someone scored between 70 and 80, so we can say ELF, else F, yeah? And we can have the same story, yeah? Mark more than or equal 70 and mark less than 80. Okay? So if someone less than 80, he will get C, yeah? So we'll print C. Okay? And we'll say D now. Else F. Okay? You notice the else F is you add a condition. When in the case the answer is false or no, you apply another condition. You don't just say else and that's it. Yeah? Else you use only when you have two lines, either this side or that side. But if you have a range of different levels, like in the grading system, then you need to use else F. So mark more than or equal 60, yeah, and mark is less than 70. These people will get D. Okay, it's a little bit harsh grading system, but I will leave you later, you update it to meet. Now, if nothing, this is not all not there, so comes now the else. Else, there's no other option, yeah? Else will say print F. Sorry for that. Okay? So, we have, if the mark is more than or equal 90 in the top range, then this is A. You start from the top, yeah? And then if it is more than 80 and less than 90, then it is B. If it is more than 70 and less than 80, it is C. And then if it's between 60 and 70, it is D, and that's it. Now if we run this one, you have an error there. What's wrong here? This is good, we made that error. Look at it and tell me what is that error. You can find easily, again, invalid syntax. Invalid syntax, one of the two. Either a colon missing or a bracket. Remember that? Either colon or bracket. The colon is there. So what we're missing? We're missing the bracket. So this bracket, because it will close that bracket there. So I missed that bracket, so I have that invalid syntax. Now, I'm getting into the other line, yeah? Which the one here, yeah, I'm missing, I have a mistake there. It's saying invalid syntax. Invalid syntax, one of the two, either colon or bracket. Here what I'm missing, colon, okay, good, that's colon. Now, we know that, so we don't need to make the same mistakes here as well, yeah? So, that's where it is. Now, if I put someone 76, 76 is C. It comes here, yeah? It comes in this line. So what happened now? when I gave 76, it started from the top. This it's not more than 90, so ignore that line and jump to this one. Yeah, is it between 80 and 90? No, ignore that line and jump to this one. Is it more than 70 and less than? Yes, it is C. Then ignore all the things and go to the end. So I can add here that thank you, yeah? Print thank you. Yeah? So that's the way it works. Now, there are other way we can do the same thing. Yeah? But it's not advised. Why? Because it just wastes computing time. I will show you that one. It will produce the same result, but it just make you go to if statements that you don't need to go to. I'll explain it, what I mean by that. Okay, so let's run this one more and give it 55 and saying F, because it went to 90 is not there, went to here is not there, went to this one is not there, went to this, took the last option, which 55. Okay, good, thank you. I like that silence wins. I'm really happy that you follow and you ask me questions, this is great. See, the programming is fun, and I know at the beginning it's challenging. For anything in life, at the beginning it's challenging, and I know I see some people saying, why are we studying programming? Really, we're not teaching you that levels of programming. Programming is more than that. Programming helps you with the logic, and programming is becoming essential nowadays. All universities, they have similar course nowadays, and the course is important to help you with critical thinking, problem solving, and most of what we do in the course is dealing with data analytics, not really programming, but with some structure in place, because structures is very important in life. Anything you do later, you become, hopefully you own a big company and lots of employees working with you. You need to apply a systematic way to run this company and use some logic in that way. And programming helps you indirectly to build that skills. And trust me, when you graduate, inshallah, and you become really successful in your life, you will remember this course and you say, that course really did help me, especially the data analytics side of it. It will be everywhere in your life. Your success will depend on how you are able to use data and make meaningful result, whatever your work. So you will not notice it maybe now. Some of you will not notice it now or not believe in that until you, inshallah, you graduate and you work, and then you remember, say, okay, now I have that skills and I can use it. Okay, so we've been looking at that. I don't know if you want to continue. We'll continue. Yeah. Okay, so we have done this one. See, I said there is another way you can do the same thing, but I do not advise people to use that way. Yeah, I will show you the other way that we can use. Now there are few challenges also you can get with the Jupyter notebook that I want you to be aware of it, which I can maybe use another example. Okay, let's go and show you the other way that will produce the same result, but it's not considered efficient in terms of using the time. The other way is this. If you say you remove Elsif and use just F, yeah, another condition. Each one is a condition on its own. So okay, I can say F here. I can say F here. Each one on its own. Okay, and I have 1 for if mark is less than 60. Okay, here, yeah, without using else if, yeah, you will get similar result. Yeah, but what's the problem with this one? The problem with this one, it will force the compiler to go through all these steps to get the result. Yeah, assume, give you example. If we say mark is 90, okay, if mark is 90, the answer is A, and that's it. So in this one, it will do only A, it will display A, and ignore all these lines and jump to this line. Yeah, so the answer is A. It will just ignore all this and jump to this because it found the answers. In this one, although it is A, it will also check this one. It will check this one. It will check this one. It will check all of them, and then it will not work. Yeah, it will produce the same result, but it will cause waste of time. We'll keep just testing every if statement you have. So it's not efficient because it will continue checking although it already found the answers. With using else if, it will check only if it didn't find the answer in that line. So if mark is not really more than or equal 90, it will check the second one. Otherwise, it will just jump to the end of the line, get the result and jump out the end of the line. And this what make it more efficient than this method which we have here. Okay, so let's ignore that one. We should not use it, and we should focus on using else if. So if you have a range of conditions, a range, think always of this grade. Yeah, your grade can go into a range of answers. Okay, you have a range, use else if. If you have only two sides of your condition, either true or false, and that's it, then you use just else, if and else. No need for else if. Else if use it when there is another condition you need to apply in case the answer is not true. Yeah, and else if is very effective as well. So this is good. Now let's look at the function. Okay, it's another revision on things. We have look at now this. Let's look at a function, and let's create a function that convert for us any mark to a grade. So I give a value of 70, I'll get, this is the grade that mark. So we'll say def space, and we can see mark to grade, whatever you want to call that function. Okay, what parameter we receive is mark. Okay, and then you need a column here. So this is the way you declare a function, is the word def coming from definition of a function. Okay, very good. I will do a I will show how to upload the Excel file. That's not a problem. I'll finish the function, then I'll go to show you how to upload the Excel file, and maybe I'll show you something more interesting as well. Okay, so this is the way we declare. So def mark to grade is one word. I cannot have space like this. This is not allowed. Yeah, because it becomes three things. It has to be only one thing. So there's no space in between. And then the variable I'm going to pass, and then the column. Okay, let's see. Now what we can do, we can copy the whole thing here. Okay, and add it here. Just push this one here. push this one here. I have to push others as well. But I'll do this first and then I'll do that. Now this one belongs to this one, so push it there. So let's go there. Okay, one easy way to get it in the right place, you take it up, you push it down, so it comes in the right place. Yeah, I'm taking it up to the column, I'm pushing it down, okay, by enter. So going up, this way it comes organized. So this function, basically, if I send to this function a value for mark, it will return to me the grade. Okay, and I have a function called mark to grade. Okay, now we didn't run this function. You noticed here there is no number here, means this function did not run at all, and this did not run at all. Yeah, so first I need to run it. Yeah, but let me make a mistake on purpose and show you something that you can I think understand. Let me open a new cell now and assume I'm saying mark here. I'm getting value for mark equal input, enter your mark. Okay, give some space here, and then I'm saying mark equal int mark. Okay, I'm converting it. Now I want to call the function. How I can call that function, this function, how I can call it? Basically call it, I take the name, this one, yeah, here, that's it. So now this way I'm calling the function mark to grade, and I'm passing to it the value of mark. So these two lines we have here basically are the two lines we used to have here. So there's nothing special, yeah, because before calling a function I should have a value for mark that I want to check. Yeah, that's one thing. But this other way, if I don't want to do this one, let's comment this one, we don't want to do it. Okay, and let's first pass 75 to the function. Okay, so assume these two lines are not there. Let me delete them so you don't get confused. Now if I run this line, what do you expect the result will be? Run this line and you would expect it will give me C. It will not give me C. Why? Because this function still not in the memory of my computer. It did not run. I need to run it at least once. Yeah, I need to run it at least once. So if I do this now, I run without running that function, without having this function run, I run only this, I get this error. See, name mark to grade is not defined. So it's telling me I have no idea what is this mark to grade you're talking about. I don't know it because it's not known for me, because basically I did not run it. But if I come here and run this cell, see, when you run it you get this 40, but this one will not produce anything. And then come and run this one now. Now I'm getting C. Yeah, so because this cell depends on this cell. If this cell did not run once, at least once, this one will not work because it's calling something in this cell. So these two cells now connected. Okay, but once it runs, you run it once, that's enough. Now if I put 80 for example and run this cell, it will work. I don't need to run this cell more than once. This cell should run only once. Yeah, and then it's there, I can use it. This is the idea of the function. You create the function once and you use it multiple times. See, I'm keep calling it here without changing the function there. So now I'll say 60, yeah, and run. It gives me D. I'll say 59, very close. I'll get F. Okay, So I did run it only once. Now if I come here and change this one and say, okay, the grade is A, okay, I want to add this word, the grade is B. Okay, I'm not consistent. Not consistent at all. Okay, and here the grade is C, and the grade is D, and the grade is F. Okay, now I made those changes. Okay, I come here and run this one again. I'm still getting the same thing. I'm not getting the grade. Why? Because I didn't run this function. Still 40 it has, because didn't run. So those changes I made, I have to run it. So if you change anything in a cell, you need to run that cell first before using a cell that depends on that cell. That's important message. Otherwise, the changes you made will not reflect. Now, if I come here and run this, and then come here and run this, now I get it the right way I want it to be. That's another lesson you need to learn. When you change a cell that is used by another cell, you have to execute it or run it at least once. And then you can apply, you will get the result. You will see this one in pandas. They say, assume you read data from Excel file, and then you use it for processing, okay, and you get all your data came. Then you close your Jupyter and come another day and open the same file. You will see all the results on the screen, but these results are the history, yeah, not the one. And you go to a cell and you run that cell, you will get a big error saying, oh, this is not defined, this is not defined, because you did not run the first one that import pandas, you did not run the one that read Excel. When you open a Jupyter file, you have to run everything again, and you can run it by just going to cell and run all, yeah. Otherwise you assume it's already running. It's not running, okay. And I will show you now the example on this one here. Let's close ours and go to our file. I have this one, session whatever. I open it now. See, when I open it now, I will find all the previous things I was doing with this cell, yeah, coming on the screen, and it looks like it was running, yeah. See, all the previous result I did are there. So I come here and say this one, make it now 65, okay, and run this one, yeah. It came correct D, because it's I think it been executed, because I did not close my browser completely, because I'm still on the same window. But if I log out and log in and come again, I'll have that error, because I'm still in the same in the same place. But this is something, I think you're getting the message I'm saying. If you close, log out and come later and open it and run, you will not find it working. And I can log out, but I don't want to log out now from my computer. Okay, so let me do, if Sheikha is still there, I'm not sure. I see only one person watching. Sometimes there more than that. Not everybody is logged into YouTube. Sometimes people just watch things without logging to YouTube. So I expect more. I'm looking at the analysis here of that one. I think we had around 60 people. 200. Oh, 200. Oh, good. Oh, great. That's good. Okay. I don't know where they are now. Okay. Sheikha, if you are still there, I will show you that. If you are gone, then I will do it next time. But let me do it because it's recorded anyway. So let's now find the file that we want to upload. I want to show you something very interesting. I was looking at it today because I'm writing for you the project that you need to do. If you go bayanat.ae or say UAE open data in any browser, okay? When you do that, you will get the first, I think, website come on the screen called bayanat.ae, okay? And this is where the open source data, the open data in the United Arab Emirates to help people, students, faculty to do research, businesses to take advantage of this data, and it's available as open data, which a great initiative. So in this one you can find data you're looking for. So let's click on data, and I was looking at traffic data that says for example car accidents and what are the cause of car accidents and how many accidents have been taking place from time to time. This is something important for us, and especially for our students, to be aware of it and do something. Like speeding is killing people, and not following the traffic regulations is causing so many problems. So what I clicked on Ministry of Interior and looking at, these are open data which made open and available by the different government sectors. If you looked at the first page which I was in, you will find all the ministries are there: Ministry of Education, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Health. These are important data for all people who want to do research, who want to look at businesses, look at supporting the community, or doing whatever they want to do in a positive way. There are lots of it. For example, here there is causes of traffic accident, why those accidents are happening. This data for 2001, 2012. There are data for 2016 for a longer period of time. There's so many data. So I was looking today at the Ministry of Interior, looking at those accidents and what are the cause of those accidents. So let's look at the one that I was looking at, this one, yeah. That's the fines. Okay, I don't like fines. But you can look at the fines if you want. The one I was looking for, this is the one, yeah. No, I was looking for 2016, 17, yeah, I think on page 2. We will get one file, and why I'm doing this, I get one file to show you how to upload it. That's something you need to know. Cause of traffic fine, types of traffic, yeah, this one for 2012, 2016. So this is an Excel file, has data from 2012 to 2016, and if you want to look at this data, you click on this, you will come in table here. It takes just a few seconds to come. We will download that data. I'll show you how you get it into the Jupyter notebook. Yeah, and here is it, yeah. And you can see so many people dying because of traffic, because people do not drive carefully and speed. Okay, so click on download. Now the file is downloaded. I have it on my computer now, and how I can upload it. You don't see it, but I have it on my computer, and I will go now back to my Jupyter. Now I am on Jupyter notebook. Now you need to open one of your applications. So if you are here, for example, and you want to do one new project, say I'll call it traffic let's select here and say traffic. Yeah, I'm using 3.6 and going on, and then you need to open your application. Okay, now the application will open, and then I'll show you how you go and upload the file once it does open. Yeah, now we are there. So this application is empty, we have nothing in that application, and let's upload the file. You go to data, and then you see upload. Okay, now you select your file. In my file is on my download, and the name of the file, you're not seeing it on the screen because the way this software I'm using works. Let me see if I can get you window capture, and let's say full screen. Give me a second just to add to my broadcasting software a way I can show you the desktop. Which desktop is I'm using? This one. Yeah, I think maybe this is the one. It's not appearing on the screen. Anyway, it's not appearing, sorry for that, but I'll do it maybe other time. Let me now just show you how to upload the file. So I get the file from my desktop, and then I click open. I'll get a window now. This is the window you need to be careful with, and in this window you need to select this line here and say library. Yeah, so this should show library. This one should have library. If it doesn't show library, then your file will go somewhere else. Then you click start uploading, it will upload it. Yeah, now it's uploading it. And if you go back to your Jupyter and do refresh or reload, you will find that Excel file have been uploaded. Yeah, we'll repeat it some other times when I get for you to see the whole desktop with the configuration. I think we have done, we covered good thing. So wish you a good time, and thank you for listening.